And would that be a spoiler? Let me see. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing a book review on The Hot Zone by Richard Preston. This is a non-fiction story about an Ebola virus outbreak just outside of Washington, D.C. Now, this story takes place between 1963 to 1993. There's a little bit of a time span because it jumps countries. So you start off in Africa in the 1960s where they discover Ebola. They don't know what it is. It acts like this virus. It acts like that virus. People are dying. It's not good. Then you come over to America and how the outbreak happened here. And the outbreak in America actually happened just outside of Washington, D.C. My favorite thing about this book is that it doesn't read like a typical nonfiction book. Richard Preston has done numerous interviews with everyone involved in the situation, and he's reconstructed the dialogue that happened between characters. He's reconstructed their thought streams and put them in there, and it really gets you in the mindset of the people involved here. And it was fantastic writing. I absolutely love it. And this was actually the second time I've read this book. This book came out in 1994. I read it a few years after it came out, probably late 90s, early 2000s. And I've loved it since then, and I decided it was time for a reread, and I loved it again. It was fantastic. The trigger warnings that I have here aren't any of the big trigger warnings that people give, but there's a trigger warning for claustrophobia and a trigger warning for animal death. As I've already mentioned, the writing is fantastic. I absolutely love it. As I previously mentioned, part of the book does take place in Africa, so we do have some diversity as far as race and cultures. The world building, obviously it's nonfiction, it's our world. He doesn't have to start from the ground up. I do think he did a decent job with it, especially in Africa. So the reason with the Ebola virus outbreaks in Africa and America, you can boil the reason for the outbreak down to one simple thing: shortcuts. People were taking shortcuts, whether it was because they had to out of necessity or they wanted to because they didn't want to deal with the long process or what have you. And I think it's important to realize that that is the reason. It's not because it clears up the myth of how this happens and how viruses like this spread. And because of the Ebola issues that happened just a few years ago in America, I really feel this is important for everyone to read, no matter what country you're in, because it's going to help educate you on how to safely handle the situation and help avoid mass public chaos and panic if, for some reason, there is an outbreak in your country, near your town. I can't say it enough. You need to read this book. You need to educate yourself so that if there is ever another outbreak, whether it's Ebola or some other really dangerous virus, you need to realize you need to educate yourself so you don't panic. So obviously I love this book. Obviously I've reread it. So quick recap on my scoring system. 1 star, I hated it and probably DNF'd. 3 stars, I liked it, but I have no plans on rereading it. 5 stars, I loved it, and I'm going to reread it. So let's put 2 and 2 together. 5 stars, baby! So let me know down in the comments if you've read this book and we can chat about it. Don't forget to subscribe so you can see all of the awesome things that I put out on the internet for the whole world to see. And I will see you guys in the next video. Later!